So the distributor platform Songtradr recently raised $50 million in a funding round, which lets me know that they're a platform that's worth kind of looking out for. And I believe they do more than distribution, but they do music licensing as well, and I believe publishing too.
Yeah, it's licensing, publishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that a platform we should be kind of on the lookout for, or what do you know about Songtradr?
Yeah, so Songtradr, TuneCore, United Masters. It's good to study that business model to see what they're trying to do. So don't just look at it and see a big number. Try to figure out, what does the big number mean? Why did they raise this? Have they raised money before? What exactly are they trying to do? So if they all operate, their business model is they have songs come in from different artists that are trying to get on Spotify or Apple Music and Amazon Music and all. They're trying to get distribution to online streaming platforms. That's one service they do. The other service they have is more relational, which is they have partnerships with big brands that need to use music for their different projects and advertisements. And then artists can get bigger checks from those. So whenever you hear artists say that they get their music in video games or TV shows or movies and advertisements, like Songtradr or a TuneCore is going to help them do that.
Right.
Or United Masters. Now, the unique advantage of each of those companies is they'll have different relationships with different companies, different businesses that will give you more opportunities to get your songs into different projects.
Right.
The reason why bigger companies like to work with a Songtradr or a TuneCore directly is because they're going to have more of their ducks in a row than just like the everyday artists. Now, you don't have to work with Songtradr or TuneCore to get your music into TV and film. Like if you know a publisher directly and you have that relationship, like you can bypass going with Songtradr or whatever. But the money gives them opportunities to either build more tools that they're not telling people about, that would grow the money of the investors, because when you get $50 million in, the investors are counting on you returning that money to them.
Right.
They're not just giving you $50 million just because they think you look nice.
Right.
So they have a plan, a strategic plan to either build new technology or to just continue doing what they're doing so that they can give that money back to investors. But the other thing I'd look out for with these types of companies, well, you can't really say what type of tech they're going to do next because that might be under the hood, so to speak. So when you're first signing up with one, like a lot of people know, we're affiliated with TuneCore. So the reason why we were and why they have an advantage over, like, let's say a DistroKid is because of that relationship with more brands where they can get you on more TV shows and things like that. Whereas DistroKid is more of just here's some cheap distribution. Well, actually, if you factor in all the add-ons that they add, it's really not all that cheap at the end of the day. But that's why we recommend TuneCore over others.
Right.
And we have been approached by others, but we still we stuck with TuneCore.
Yeah.
But Songtradr is not bad.
Yeah.
Just because we're affiliated with TuneCore, we're not just going to lie to people. So Songtradr is not a bad platform. You can go look and see what companies they've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
That does not mean that your song is going to get put on all these TV shows and whatnot. It still has to fit the show right. People have to be familiar with your work. That helps a lot too. So the first one's probably the hardest, and then it gets easier after that. But yeah, that's what I can gather from Songtradr raising that much. It could also be that they saw TuneCore go public. Believe their parent company go public, and they might be trying to make a similar move as well. So that could be another possible angle I see them doing it for.
Yeah.
They've raised money in the past though,
Yeah.
too. I know United
Really?
Masters raised some money as well. I don't think it was I'm not sure if it was exactly a funding round, but it was like a large sum of money. I think from Apple. They raised, but they at least gave some equity away.
Really?
Yeah, I think I heard there's a Steve Stout
Okay.
talking about that as well. So yeah, a lot of these companies are making those moves, guys. And if you've listened to our previous episodes, just take the concept of that. What they're doing right now is they're taking private capital, which is bigger sums of money. It's hard for investors to do that into individual artists. But what's more appealing is just the idea of doing that, which is why I talk about like that stock market idea of turning yourself
Right.
into like your own stock entity. Because that way, when you can give away just small little shares to the everyday person,
Right.
or just the idea of small shares, because there's certain legislation around that and regulations,
Right.
About how you have to present yourself whenever you're a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
But that's the idea to take from it. So that is a good model to look at and say, like, okay, let me figure out my business concept first and get that down. Once I'm generating some revenue, that is a very legitimate way to raise some capital so that you can go faster. That's essentially what capital does. It's so you already have a business model down, and you're trying to replicate that and speed it up.
Okay.
So they're trying to speed something up, or it's either speed up what's already working or speed up the process of building whatever else they're building.
Yeah. Makes sense.